sheets. So through Selenium code, I want to access the test cases. I want to access the data present in Excel file to run my test cases. Without having knowledge about Apache Pi, in Java, we cannot fetch the data from Excel sheets. For this reason, we are learning the Apache Pi, another open source API for Java to work with Microsoft Excel files, Word files, PPT, Outlook. But here, our in scope of training, we are learning only about the Microsoft Excel, how to work with Microsoft Excel file using Apache Pi. Because we never maintain test data or test case in PPTs or Word. Hence, we are focusing on learning how to work with MS Office files, that is Excel sheets, in Java programming using Apache Pi. Before we proceed, I have to introduce other two Java classes here, a file input stream and file output stream. Let's see what is the purpose of these two classes, file input stream class and file output stream. Make a note of it. File input stream. File input stream. File input stream and file output stream. Actually, these two are Java classes, not Apache Pi classes. File input stream and file output stream. So try to understand what they are. So let us say this is my Java program. You know, every Java class will have some memory. I have a file. This file contains some data. Say some input file, some input data available in this file, some data available in the file. This file may be Excel file, Word file, a PDF file, any other file format, any other file. This file I want to copy into Java program memory. In order to copy a file from a particular location, C drive or D drive, to Java program memory during runtime, there is a class available in Java called file input stream. This will copy the specified file into Java program memory during runtime. So that using Java programming, we can able to read the content available in the file present in the memory through Java coding. See, Java can perform any manipulations on the memory. If you want to perform some manipulations on some data, the data must be available in the Java current program memory. I want to fetch the contents available in a file. First, I need to copy the file into Java program memory. To copy a file from the specified location, D drive or C drive, to my current program memory, there is a class in Java called file input stream. You are going to specify the location of the file, where it is, in my C drive or D drive or some other location. Now, through this Java coding, I am performing some write operations into the same file. I am writing some contents into the same file. Through Java coding, I am doing some write operation. Java can fetch the contents available in the file present in the memory. Java can perform write operation on the file present in the memory. After performing the write operation, the file present in the memory I want to store in a desired location. The contents present in the file I want to store in a particular location. I will say this is output file. For this, we use another Java class called the file output stream. some file available in my C drive or D drive or some other location. This file I want to copy into the Java memory location. For that I use file input stream. Now my Java code fetching the contents present in the file. My Java code performing a write operation on the file present in the memory. Finally, say for example, here I have input data, username value, password values. If I want to read the data present in Excel sheet to execute my test case, first I need to copy the file into the memory. To copy the file, Excel file into my Java program memory, I use file input stream. My code reading the username values and password values, executing the test case, updating the results. Where it is updating the results? Java cannot directly interact with the file present in my D drive or C drive. Java can read or write into the file present in the memory. Results updated into the file present in the memory, pass or fail. The file in the memory I want to store in the desired location in my D drive. Here I have the data. This I copied. I'm reading and writing. File present in the memory I want to store in other location. Then I go for file output stream. So note on this diagram. Hope you understand file input stream, file output stream. Any file you want to copy into your current program memory, file input stream. A file present in the memory you want to copy to the desired location, file output stream. The Excel file where my test case or test data available, first I have to copy into the program memory using file input stream. I'll write some code to read the data and execute my test case, update the results. Results gets updated in the file present in the memory. Finally, the file present in the memory I want to store in some other location. For that, I use file output stream. Take the notes about it. File input stream. Take the notes about what is this file input stream class of Java. I'm giving some description about file input stream. Take it. File input stream class. The file input stream class, it's a Java class, not Apache Py class. It is available in java.io package. File input stream class used to copy the file present in the specified location, to Java program memory. The file available in the specified location to Java program memory. So what is this file output stream? Continuation. File output stream class. The file output stream class used to copy a file present in Java memory the file present in Java memory to the specified location. To the specified location. To the specified location. Right. Now let's see how to make use of this. In my system, in my C drive temp folder, there is an Excel file with the name test data. Here I have some sample data, whatever. This Excel file I want to copy into this current program memory. Just a moment. To explain these concepts, I am creating new project. A new Java project with the name Excel project. The name I given as Excel project, but basically as of now it is a Java project. Standalone Java cannot interact with the Microsoft Excel files. Java needs Apache Poi. So what we have to do now? What we have to do now? First, we need to download the Apache Poi jar files, Apache Poi library. Those jar files we have to associate to your Java project. Actually, TestNG we have to install. Maven we have to install in Eclipse. TestNG we have to install in Eclipse. Cucumber we have to install in Eclipse. But whereas Apache Poi, we have to download. It comes with a group of jar files or jar files to be associated to your Java project. The latest stable version of the Apache Poi, 5.2.2, but we have observed in the last batch I have downloaded it associated, and I verified in the blocks also there are some issues in this version. Better you go with the previous release, 4.1.2. In the binary artifacts we have all the previous releases of the Apache Poi. Apache Poi 3, 5.2 is the latest version. Almost about 10 days back it was released. Only just 10 days back. Here we have the date here. I recommend this is a very stable version. 4.1.2. The Apache Poi 4.1.2. The zip file we have to download this file. It comes with a folder. Save somewhere in your machine. I'm putting in my C drive directly. The Apache Poi folder. It comes with a group of jar files. Here we have some jar files. In WUI XML folder, we have some jar files, object-oriented XML. These two jar files are must if you are working with the latest version of the Excel. If you are really working with the old version of the Excel, object-oriented implementation not required. The library folder comes with a group of jar files. In documents, only this is a document about the Apache Poi. Together, all jar files comes with the Apache Poi you can associate to your Java project. All jar files comes with the Apache Poi associate to your Java project. Inside the WUI XML library, we have two jar files. Inside the library folder, we have few more jar files. I suggest you associate everything comes with the Apache Poi. Down the line, we learn using Apache Poi, using Apache Maven, you no need to associate any jar files externally. All dependencies or libraries required for your project, you can manage through one XML file. Further, we'll talk about this. Right. Now, I created some package like this. Here, file input stream is one of the Java class. File input stream is a Java class. It is used to fetch, obtains the data from a file. I'm creating an object for the file input stream. We can give the file path here. Which file you want to copy into this location. In my C drive, temp folder, I have this file. If really the file you have copied into your current project location, only the file name you can mention. You know the Gecko driver or Chrome driver available in the external file location, you have to give the entire path. If they are available inside the project location directly, you can give the file name. Here we need to add an exception. Maybe the file path you have given may be wrong. Guess what is the exception we have to add? Sorry? Not path not found, file not found. If the file not available in the given location, now Java throws an exception called file not found. File not found meaning you given some mistake in the file location. No exception occurred because the file correctly I have given path. C. If the file directly available inside your project location, you no need to specify the external location. Directly you can give the file name which is available inside your current project location. Okay? This time I am accessing the file present in this location. Right. Is there any rule that only one file you can copy? You can copy multiple files into the memory. Just give me a second. Here I have one more Excel file here. FI1, file input string 1. FI2 equal to a new file input string. The other file you want to copy into the memory. Some file I have copied. Actually, any programming I said, drive letters, folder names, and file names are not case sensitive. SQL available in the uppercase, wanted are given in the lower case here. But there is a white space in the file name. I removed it. Or wanted are given a mistake here. Now you receive the exception file not found. Right. Now, I copied two files here. You have copied the latest version of the Excel workbooks. The Apache Py provided an interface called, what is the interface name? Workbook. Workbook is an interface available in the Apache Py. I'm creating an object for this. WB equal to new. In the yesterday diagram I have clearly mentioned, there are two classes belongs to the workbook interface. HSSF workbook and XSF workbook. If I are working with the current version of the Excel workbooks, we have to create an object for XSF workbook. While creating an object for the XSF workbook class, you supply the file input stream object as a constructor. Why it needs file input stream object as a constructor? Supposing I'm creating a object like this. How many files I have copied into memory? 2. The WB referring which file? Is WB referring a particular file? Did you mention anywhere?
No, sir.
No. While creating an object for the access of workbook class, if I supply file input stream as a constructor, for example, FI1, for any reason your Java not able to open the file available, file not in a accessible mode, file corrupted or something, we need to throw an exception called input output exception. Now WB refers this Excel workbook. Say I'm giving WB1. Workbook WB2 equal to new access of workbook FI2. WB2 refers second workbook. Actually here, just to explain you, while creating an object for the access of workbook class, what is the need of supplying this constructor? Wanted, I copied two files here. Now I am copying only one file. Please confirm this code understood as of now. File input stream, copying this file into the memory. Object name is FI. While creating an object for the access of workbook class, this file input stream we are supplying as a constructor. Now WB refers this Excel file present in the memory. WB, what is WB here? Object of access of workbook class. The WB equal to an object for access of workbook class agreed of type workbook. But actually here it is the object of the access of workbook class, correct? Whatever the methods we are seeing here, all methods are available inside the access of workbook class. Create a sheet. I want to insert a new sheet into the workbook, some sheet name. It will create the sheet, return the sheet we have inserted. This method create sheet available inside the access of workbook class. Here workbook is of type access of workbook. Before I do this, check how many sheets are available in this workbook. Login data, EMP data. I want to insert one more sheet, create one more sheet into the workbook. For all book level operations, we have a class called access of workbook. Sheet level operations, access of sheet. Row level operation, access of row. Cell level operation, access of cell. To format a cell, cell style. I want to insert a new sheet in a workbook. Create sheet. I am giving the sheet name. For example, demo sheet. Where this sheet will be inserted? Now directly into the file. The test data file available in my C drive, I copied into the memory. Now you tell me, in the file present in the memory as of now, I copied an Excel file into the computer program memory, Java program memory using file input stream. How many sheets are available in this file? We have observed. There are two. Via coding, you are inserting a new sheet. Where the sheet is getting inserted? Here or here. Directly the sheet is getting inserted into your C drive file or the file in the memory.
In the memory.
Any write operation carried out on the file present in the memory. The sheet is getting inserted in the file present in the memory. The demo sheet is inserted in the copy present in the memory, not in the C drive file. The file present in the C drive you copied into the memory. All operations, reading, writing, carried out on the file present in the memory. A demo sheet is inserted in the copy present in the memory. Now, the file present in the memory I want to store in some other location. For that we have to use file output stream. FO equal to new file output stream. You can give the file path where you want to save it. In my C drive, temp folder, I'm giving in some name like this. Okay. So there may be multiple workbooks in the memory, WB1, WB2, if there are two files. Did you mention what is the file you want to copy into this location? Assume that in your code there are two workbooks. WB1 referring file 1, WB2 referring file 2. You given only the file path where you want to save the results, output. Did you mention which file of the, present in the memory you want to copy here? You're getting what I'm saying?
No need, sir.
Online team, you are understanding my point here?
Yes, sir.
There may be multiple files, workbooks in the memory. See, file 1, file 2. This is my Java code. I copied the two files into the memory. File 1, also file 2. Say WB1 referring file 1, WB2 referring file 2. I created a file output stream object. I given some file path. Did you mention which file present in the memory you want to write into this file in my code? I agree this program has only one file. There is a chance your program may have multiple files. What is the file you want to write into result nowhere is mentioned? WB, what is WB? File present in the memory. I want to write into file output stream. Now it is clear to your Java. Okay. This file present in the memory, I want to write into the file output stream. Generally, if you are working with Word file or PPT file or any other file, once your job done, better you close the workbook. Close the workbook once your work is done. Once your job done, we close the workbook, right? Same it is doing. I suggest last two lines of code is not mandatory but recommended. File input stream object available in the memory. Close it from the memory. File output stream object also available in the memory. Close it. Whatever the objects I created, I'm killing from the memory. Last two lines of code is not mandatory. I suggest to release the memory, to free the memory. Let us run this code. I executed it. Please observe, just now one file was created. The code created this file. What is copied into the file? A copy of test data present in the memory you copied into the file. But here I have only two sheets. This is the file you copied into memory. After copying into the memory, you are writing a new sheet. That we are storing in the result. You see here demo sheet is inserted into the result file, not in the input file. In the first program I demonstrated usage of file input stream and file output stream. Please confirm, did you understood this code? So what we did first, we copied the Excel file into the memory. You can copy multiple files, FI1, FI2, FI10, 10, 20 files also you can copy. Okay, there are 10 Excel files in the memory, say. For which Excel file you are creating a workbook object. So while creating an object for the workbook, specify the file input stream as a constructor. This workbook belongs to this particular file. It is something like this. In Selenium, there are multiple drop-down lists in a page. While creating a select class object, you are specifying this select class object belongs to this particular drop-down list element. The drop-down list web element as a constructor. Like this workbook object belongs to file 1, not remaining 9 files. Then what you want to do? Just to explain you file input stream and file output stream in this code, I'm inserting a new sheet. Create sheet will create a sheet. Get sheet will access a sheet. Create row, get row. Create cell, get cell. Down the line we see all these methods. Here I am creating a new sheet, inserting a new sheet into the copy present in the memory. The copy present in the memory, WB referring that I want to copy into the specified location. So I created a file output stream object. I given the location where I want to copy. There are about 10 files in the memory. Which one you want to copy? WB1 or WB2 or WB10? So what we have to do, workbook object dot WB dot write. WB dot write, workbook write into the given location. This workbook, WB referring the file present in the memory. In the file present in the memory, already demo sheet is inserted. The file present in the memory, write into the file output stream, the results file. Close the objects, whatever you have declared in the code. File input stream, file output stream. Without having last 2 lines of code also it works. Please confirm you understood this. Online team, please confirm you understood this code. Better the first program you take in the notes.
Yes, sir.
You first program you take it, remaining all I am putting in the notepad. Because in every code of Excel, file input stream, file output stream is mandatory. File output stream is mandatory when you are writing. When you are writing the results. But in every program, file input stream is mandatory. If you are writing the results some location, then only you need the file output stream object. In every code we are using file input stream, better to have it in the notes. Done? The first program just demonstrated using the file input string and file output string. Right. Now let me explain the Excel related operations step by step. In this Excel file, I want to copy this Excel file into program memory. Already we are copying here. I created a workbook object, access a workbook object. We understand how to insert a new sheet into the workbook. What is the method? Access of workbook class provide a method called create sheet. Okay. Now, let me explain the scripts completely based on automation test cases scenario. I have prepared one program to verify login functionality. I want to test login using the input data present in the sheet. I want to execute the login test case using the input data present in the sheet. One workbook may have multiple sheets. One workbook may have multiple sheets. How to access the sheets present in a workbook? Previously, we understand how to create a sheet. Now I want to explain how to access sheets present in a workbook. wb.create sheet, wb.create sheet, creating a new sheet. Say I do not want to create a sheet. I want to get the sheet. Get meaning? Access the sheet. Get sheet is a method name. We can supply the sheet name, which is case sensitive actually, sheet name. Say for example, login data is my sheet name. What is the return type of the guest sheet? No? Create sheet, creating a new sheet. Guest sheet, accessing the whole sheet. Whole sheet we are accessing. What is the return type? Sheet. The next sheet name here, EMP data. The return type is a sheet object. You please observe here, in Apache Pi we have two sheet interfaces. Workbook, sheet, row, cell. SL.userModel1 package. One more sheet interface available in the other package, ss.userModel. Spreadsheet.userModel. If you are working with the old version of the Excel, go with this. If you are working with the new version of the Excel, you have to go with this. Use the sheet interface available in the ss.userModel package. The right hand side expression returns a sheet. I'm storing in a variable of type sheet. WS2, the second sheet. Login data sheet I'm accessing and storing in WS1. EMP data sheet I am accessing and storing in WS2. In my code, WS1 refers sheet 1, WS2 refers second sheet, EMP data sheet. Okay. We understand first program I have explained how to create a new sheet. Now we are accessing the existing sheet. What is the method? Get sheet will return a sheet. As the return type is a sheet, I am storing in a variable of type sheet. The sheet interface available in Apache Poi. Workbook, sheet, row, cell. Okay. Now, I want to count the number of rows in a sheet. I want to count the number of rows in login data sheet. Which object referring login data sheet here? WS1 referring login data sheet. There is a method get last row number. First of all, you answer me, where is this method? In which class this method available?
Sheet, sir.
Sheet. It's very clear. Any Java suggestion, last one is nothing but the class name where this method is available. Input fields, after colon, return type, lastly, the class name. Method name, return type, the class where the method is available. What is the return type of this? In. Get last row number. WS1 dot, here WS1 referring login data sheet. Get the last row number. Only created rows will be considered. Null rows will not be considered. Only created rows are considered. Get the last row number. Will return an integer, which is the last row number, nothing but row count. Nothing but number of rows present in the sheet. Here, get last row number, start counting the row from 0, not from 1. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So get last row number, return the last row number available in the sheet. The return type is integer. This I am keeping a variable sheet 1 row count. First sheet row count. Now, WS2 referring second sheet, EMP data sheet. Get last row number returns the number of rows available in the second sheet. The return type is an integer. This I am storing in some other variable. Sheet 2 row count. Let's print it here. Sheet 1 row count. Sheet 2 row count. Once my work done, close the workbook, close the input stream. In this code, there is no output stream. We are not writing anything into another file. Just we are counting the number of rows in the sheet. Before I run this code, let's manually check. Row count start from, get last row number, start the row count from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. There are about 4 rows here. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here also 4. I'll do one thing. I'll add one more record here. In the first sheet, we have about 5 rows. In the second sheet, we have only 4 rows. When you save, then only it will be considered. Otherwise, old copy will be taken. I am running this code. It should print 5 and 4. Your code able to count the number of rows available in a sheet. Take some short notes about it. Counting number of rows present in Excel sheet. Counting number of rows present in Excel sheet. Counting number of rows present in an Excel sheet. Take some short notes like this. The Apache Py XSF sheet class, Apache Py sheet class, HSSF sheet or XSF sheet both belongs to sheet. Sheet class provided a method. What is the method name? Apache Py XSF sheet class provided a method. What is the method name? Get loss row num. Get loss row num, which returns number of rows present in the sheet. Which returns number of rows present in the sheet. It returns number of rows present in the sheet. Number of rows present in the sheet. Return type is integer. Return type is integer. So it returns number of rows present in the sheet. Return type is integer. Another note about this. Get loss row num method. Get loss row num method starts row count from 0. Starts row count from 0. Get loss row num method starts row count from 0. Okay? Right. See once again. At first we copy the Excel file into the memory. The file you copied into the memory is the current version of the Excel workbook. Hence we created an object for the XSF workbook class of type workbook. A workbook may have multiple sheets. You want to create a new sheet, create sheet is a method. You want to access an existing sheet, get sheet is a method. I'm getting login data sheet into one variable, EMP data sheet into another variable. Get sheet, create sheet, get sheet will create, return the sheet. Get sheet will access the existing sheet. Return type is a sheet. Get sheet, returning the whole sheet. Return type is a sheet. The XSF sheet class provide a method, get loss row num, which count the last row number available in the given Excel sheet. Start row count from 0, return type is an integer. So we are reading the counting the number of rows in sheet 1, sheet 2, and just I'm printing here for your understanding. So this program explaining you how to count the number of rows in a sheet. Right. Please confirm it is understood. Whatever we are learning Apache Py is the input for next 1 week sessions. To implement data-driven test cases, to implement hybrid framework, this is the input. If you didn't understood this, data-driven and hybrid we cannot implement. Completely data-driven test cases, hybrid framework, Excel operations are the major inputs. Like to implement modularity framework, test engine is the input. Right. So now, I want to count the number of columns in a
row, sir.
Columns in a row. There are 3 columns in the 0th row. There are only 2 columns in the remaining rows. not in a sheet, in a particular row. Row-wise number of columns may change. Zeroth row has 3 columns. Remaining all rows has only 2 columns. Maybe some row may have 10 columns also. Number of columns based on the row number. Now let me explain how to count the number of columns. As per my code WS, worksheet refers login data sheet. I'm dealing only one sheet in this code, login data sheet. I want to count the number of columns in a particular row. Here WS meaning sheet. To perform sheet level operation, we have a sheet class in Apache Py. In a sheet, there are multiple rows. How many rows are there earlier? We have seen 5. You want to create one more row. What is the method? Create a row. Like create sheet, create row. I do not want to create a row. I want to get the existing row. Get row. There are about 5 rows. Row code starts from 0. Get row asking me row number. 0. Its return type is get the row. Get sheet, whole sheet we are accessing. Get row, whole row we are accessing. So what is the return type? Row is the return type. There are multiple rows in the worksheet. Which row you want to get? 0. What is the return type? Row. For example, row 1. Here row 1 will have 0th row of the sheet. I'm creating one more row object. Row 2. The same sheet. I'm getting the next row. 1. Row 1 dot. What is row 1 here? Row object. Access of row class. The row class provide a method. Row class provide a method because columns in a particular row. Row class provide a method called get last cell number. Generally we say column. In Microsoft Excel terminology, they should be referred as cells. Get the last cell number. See the return type? Short. Because any sheet will have maximum of 256 columns. Excel sheet will have a maximum of 256 columns. The return type is a short value. I agree, short value we can store in integer also, right? I can store in integer also, but actually this function return type is a short. Row 1 column count is my variable here. I'm just explaining like TestNG how we learn. All concepts I'm explaining first. Then I will repeat this by writing the actual code in the project. I'm creating one more variable of the same data type. Second row, row 2 column count. We already have a row object here, row 2 dot get the last cell number. Now I'm printing the row 1 column count. Also I'm printing the row 2 column count. Row 1 and row 2 column count. Once my job done, close the workbook object, close the input stream object. Let us run this. 3 and 2. It's saying there are 3 columns in the 0th row and 2 columns in the first row. If we have 3 columns in the 0th row, there are only 2 columns in the first row. So in this program, I have explained you how to count the number of columns in a row. Please go through the code and confirm. First, we copied the Excel file into the memory. We created a workbook object. One workbook may have multiple sheets. You have to decide which sheet, which row, columns you want to count. I'm getting a particular sheet using guest sheet, login data sheet. One sheet will have multiple rows. Which row you wanted? 0th row, and also I wanted first row, row 1, row 2. So row object dot get, previously what is the method? Get last row num, counting the number of rows in the sheet. Get last cell num, count the number of columns of the row. Note on this. Counting number of columns of a Excel sheet row. Counting number of columns. Counting number of columns in a Excel sheet row. In a Excel sheet row. How to count the number of columns in a Excel sheet row? You answer this question? If the interview question is like this, how you answer? How to count the number of rows, how to read data, how to write data, how to count the number of columns. Few frequently asked interview questions related to this Apache Py. You answer this question? I wanted detailed description, not SMS answer. Apache Py provided access of row class. Access of row class provide a method get last cell num that returns count of columns in the given row. The return type is a short. It considers only created cells, created column, null cells will not be considered. Make a note of it. Apache Py row class provided, row is interface, nothing but a superclass. Apache Py row class provided, Apache Py row class provided a method. What is the method name? What is the method name? Get last cell num get last cell num. Online team screen visible? Online team
Yes, sir.
screen visible?
But
Yes,
not
sir.
clear, sir.
Yes, sir, it is not clear.
Right. I was not sharing my screen. Take it now. Get last cell num get last cell num that returns a count of columns in the specified row. Count of columns in the specified row. Count of columns in the specified row. Right. Right. Now let me explain how to read the data present in Excel sheet cell. Note on the topic. reading data present in Excel sheet cell. Reading data present in Excel sheet cell. Refer the yesterday given diagram. Which object we have to refer? Cell. Listen. The data present in a cell. We have to read the data present in a particular cell. And we have to write the data in a particular cell. All these are cell level operation. The Apache Pi cell class provided some methods. The Apache Pi cell class provides a method. Get string cell value. We'll do one thing. We are accessing the login data sheet now. We'll do one thing here. Actually, the login data sheet contains only string data. First sheet has only string data. I'll take EMP data sheet here. Another sheet, EMP data sheet. My sheet name, EMP data. I'm accessing the first row. 0th row I'm skipping. Because here I have the data actually. Something. I have string data, numeric data, Boolean data. I want to read the data from here. Also here, also here. Cell 1, cell 2, cell 3. Actually, here also we have one cell. Here also we have string data. Otherwise, I want to read employee number, employee name, salary, and active. All data I want to read. Employee number, employee name, salary, and active. From the first row, from this row. Get row. What is the return type of get row? Row. Row. So it is the interface name, it is my object name. String. This is a data type. Row is a data type. Reference data type. This is a variable name, correct? I gave an S in lowercase here. This is a variable name here. Okay. We are accessing the first row, this row. Row dot. Where are the cells available? In a particular row. I want to access existing cells. Get cell. What is the return type of the get cell? Get sheet, get row, get cell. Create sheet, create row, create cell. For writing data, we have to use create cell. I'm accessing the existing cells. Cell reference starts from 0 here. 0, 1, 2, 3. Count start from 1. Count start from 1. 1, 2, 3. In array list size, there are 10 elements available. Size meaning 10, but reference start from 0. I'm taking the first row here. Row number 1. Get cell, what is the return type of get cell? What is the return type of the get cell? The entire cell object will be returned. Get cell will return a row, madam. Get cell will return the entire cell. 0 I am giving. Cell, for example, C1. cell 1. I am creating one more cell object. Root out, get the next cell. One more cell object. Root out, get the next cell. One more cell object. Totally 4 cells I am accessing. 0, 1, 2, and 3. Okay. C1. What is C1 here? It's an object of the XSF cell class. Cell class. Apache Py cell class provided some method get string cell value. Get numeric cell value. Get Boolean cell value. In the C1, in the C2 we have only string data, correct? E001 also string, E. So get string cell value. What is the return type? String. Get the string cell value. Return type is a string. This I am keeping in a variable EMP number of data type string. I am declaring one more variable of type string to read the next column data. EMP name equal to C2 dot get string cell value. Here also we have string data, but here I have number data, numeric data. C3 dot get numeric cell value. What is the return type? Double. Numeric cell value. Return type is a double. This I am keeping in a variable of type double. For example, salary. The next cell, last cell, get Boolean cell value. What is the return type? Boolean cell value. Definitely return type is Boolean. This I am storing in a variable called active or status, whatever it may be. Let's print all the values together. The employee number, the employee name, the salary, and the value of the active. Once my job done, close the workbook object, close the input stream object. Here I demonstrated how to read different types of data available in the Excel sheet cells. E001, Richards, numeric value 18,000 salary and true. This is the data we have read. If you want to read everything, we have to count the rows, you have to put the code inside the loop. We'll see in the next program, we'll see. You understand this one? Online team confirm, did you understood this?
Yes.
Take the notes about it. Apache Py cell class provided. Apache Py cell class provided. List out the method names one by one. List the method names one by one. Apache Py cell class provided. First one. Get string cell value. Refer it and you can write it, because it's case sensitive. Get string cell value. Get string cell value. Second one. Get numeric cell value. Get numeric cell value. And lastly, get Boolean cell value methods. Get Boolean cell value methods. Get Boolean cell value methods to read the data from Excel sheet cells. To read data from Excel sheet cells. Right. So today we'll learn some Excel related operations. For today I stop here. The code whatever I have built I upload into LMS, and tomorrow we'll extend the discussion how to read the entire data present in the Excel sheet. We are reading only the data present in one row. Same logic. We need to count the number of rows. We have to count the number of rows. We have to create a for loop. The same reading data we have to put inside the loop. That's it. Row 1, row 2, row 3, and row 4. Then tomorrow we'll talk about, say, if a method trying to fetch the data from an Excel sheet cell. If data available, fine. If data not available, empty, null available. Get string cell value, return type is a string, but there is no data, null. You'll get an exception, null pointer exception. Your code trying to fetch the data from a null cell, an empty cell, there is no data. Your code throw an exception called null pointer exception. How to handle the null pointer exception that occurs when your code trying to fetch the data from an empty cell, that we'll discuss. Then, how to write the data into Excel sheet cell. After writing the data, say pass or fail in testing point of view, pass I want to show in green color, fail I want to show in red color. How to format the cells using cell style. So after learning this, in most of the test cases, we have to fetch the data from Excel sheet. I do not want to build the same code again and again. Like app utils, I create one more common utility class called Excel utils. All Excel related operations, methods, I define in a generic way so that in any project, any test case you want to do some Excel operation, rather than building this much amount of logic, workbook object, sheet object, row object, cell object, just by calling the Excel utils class functions, we can able to develop the test cases. Previously, we used to write the code for launching application in every test case. Once launch app created, are we doing that? Just we are calling the function launch app. Like, I create one more utility class called Excel utils. To count the number of rows in a sheet, one method, get row count. To count the number of columns in a sheet, I create one method. To read data, I create one method. To write data, I create one method. To fill the green color, I create one method. To fill the red color, I create one method. So that these Excel utils class functions I can call and reuse in any project, in any test case where we are interacting with the Microsoft Excel workbooks. In real time, generally, we create the Excel utils class and develop the actual test cases. To develop the Excel utils class, first you know all of these operations. Tomorrow we'll continue. Thank you. And the code, whatever I have built last 3 sessions, the test engine framework, yesterday I compressed and uploaded into the LMS. All test cases, whatever you have implemented, I uploaded. Please check it out. Thank you. Thank you, online team. We'll continue tomorrow.